Alright, so I'm in Bogota, Colombia. My bike has arrived. I've got it over the Darien Gap. Everything's fine. I did a little bit of riding through the city and it's just absolute insanity. I thought I got used to the roads in Latin America, but Colombia is just unlike anything I've ever seen.
Well, the traffic isn't nearly as bad as it has been at some points. Bogota, Colombia. Well, Colombia is definitely land of the motorbikes, which is pretty cool. How many of them? It's just a little bit overwhelming at times. And I believe also I've been told that I don't have to pay tolls. There's quite a few tolls that you got to pay intercity. And I've been told that I don't have to pay them because I'm on a motorcycle. As you can see, for the most part, there's not a huge amount of rules of the road. It's just sort of go wherever you fit in. Okay, look at this stuff. It's just, you have to be aggressive, or it's almost more dangerous to not be aggressive. You really got to constantly be aware of your surroundings, like absolutely constantly. More so even than Mexico. Hopefully I don't get caught at this stupid checkpoint here. Had enough of the corrupt Colombian police. Oh, that's something that happened to me actually. When I was in Cartagena and going to Barranquilla to visit my friend, I rented a car, and on the way back, there was a police checkpoint. No, sorry, it wasn't a checkpoint, it was a speed trap. So there's lots of speed cameras, they're well marked, they're on ways, you know where they are. I definitely wasn't speeding. Like at max, I was going 5 over, but I genuinely don't think I was even going over the speed limit. And so they pulled me over, and he says, "Oh, you were speeding." I said, "No, I certainly wasn't." He said, "You were, and you're getting a ticket." I said, "Fine, whatever. How much is the ticket?" He said, 800,000 pesos, which is, I think about $200. And I said, "Oh, okay, great, whatever, I'll fight it." And he said, "Yeah, well, you got to come back here to fight it." Okay, fine, whatever. So they definitely wasn't speeding. I asked how fast it was going. He said 117 kilometers an hour and like at 80 or 90. And I started laughing. I said, "This car doesn't go 117, like it genuinely doesn't." And he said, "Well, we have the radar gun." So it was just, it wasn't true. So I said, "Yeah, fine, I'll fight it." He said, 800,000. If you want, I can make it go away for 300,000. I said, "Oh, yeah, I know what this is. This is the bribe. This is the bribe I keep hearing about." I didn't have time to sit there and fight him because I had somewhere to be and I had to return the car. And I also wasn't going to ride back to, or drive back and fight it. I hated to pay the bribe, but I said, "Okay, so it's 300,000, make it go away." He said, "Let me go check how much cash I have." So I went in the car and I hid most of my cash, and I came back and I said, "Look, all I have is 200. I don't know if that's going to be sufficient or not to make it go away." And he said, yeah, sure. You know, obviously he just wants whatever cash he can. And I said, "Well, what about the tolls? Is there more tolls ahead?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, I can't give you all my cash if there's more tolls ahead. I need to be able to get through the tolls." And he just sort of looked at me and said, "Well, what am I going to do?" And he gave me one of the 50s back. And he said, "Here's for the tolls." So I ended up having to pay 150,000 bribe, which is, what's that? I think it's, I don't know, $35, something like that. But just horrible. Like, that was out and out police corruption. It wasn't even like he actually caught me breaking the speed limit and wanted a bribe. It was, they made up that I was exceeding the speed limit, but what are you going to do? I'm just a visitor. The poor people here have to deal with it. I talked to a few people. I don't have a huge amount of faith and confidence in the police here. But Colombia's a lovely, lovely country full of, for the most part, wonderful people. The roads are just atrociously bad. Like, there's just big, giant potholes everywhere. Which, if you can see ahead and you know you're paying attention, you can generally avoid. But the thing that makes it really hard is that you don't have your own lane. There could be a bike on either side of you, so you're sort of taking your life in your hands. If you see a pothole last minute, you sort of to avoid it. You either have to know there's nobody beside you or hope there's nobody beside you. But sometimes they come flying up right on the inside of your lane so fast that you can know that there's nobody there. You know, you've checked, you know there's no one there, and you move to avoid a pothole, and then there's already somebody beside you. I suppose you just got to do what you got to do, really, don't you? Just, I mean, one of these potholes could really, really damage a rim. And I think I got about 3 days of this coming up. And definitely, I hope when I hit one of these potholes, I don't lose control or damage the bike. Seems like a very real possibility from the things that I've read, from what I can see. Oh, wow. There's no way I'm going to be this lucky, is there? Could it finally be over? Alright, so now we go. Don't really know. My GPS doesn't seem to be working the way I would like it to. But my general understanding is I go all the way to the right and I don't have to pay a toll. I believe, hopefully I don't get stopped here. I'm pretty sure if I just go through here I don't have to pay the toll. Certainly seems like it. Well, with that, I'm pretty sure my escape from Bogota is complete, which is nice.